Hello people, this is Squash Corner, and the EVO lineup of 2024 has arrived. What's to be expected, what kind of tournaments, what kind of juicy footage we're going to end up seeing in, I believe, July? And let's see. So this is exciting because when EVO comes out and it shows the lineup, it kind of shows where we are at. But what makes it so significant is a lot of these games are kind of fresh. They're kind of new. It's not like they're grabbing old games that still have a little bit of shelf life in it. All these have pretty decent, like there's still content for each of these titles. And I'm assuming that there's going to be more seasons of all these games, honestly, along the line, except for Third Strike. So like, for example, Street Fighter 6, we still didn't even get Ed yet. I'm pretty sure we'll get Ed at the time. Tekken 8, the game just dropped practically like a week or two ago. Guilty Gear, I don't think it's over. I think they're still making DLC for that. Grand Blue Versus, we barely found out that 2B kit is coming out, and there's like 2-3 characters from the first season pass, and then there's probably going to be a second season pass. There probably is. Under Night just came out too, just like Tekken 8, which I feel like is kind of a wild, I don't know, Under Night coming out right next to Tekken was kind of nuts, because it's like, bro, you have to kind of pick your battles, because one is $50, the other one's $70, and then, you know what I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Tekken 8 sold pretty well. So I feel kind of bad for Under Night, but Under Night is a fucking fantastic game. Mortal Kombat 1 is still pretty fresh, I would say, in the community standpoint. It has a lot of issues, such as like a lot of DLC things. But I would admit that a lot of fighting games have DLC issues and problems and support kind of things going on. KOF, I'm actually shocked KOF is going to be in it because it's a little old. But no, the game is not done. It's recently got an update, so there's still life in it. They're making a new Mark of the Wolves, which is very interesting, but like, I'm pretty sure, like, if I had predictions of what we're possibly potentially going to see for EVO, because we always end up seeing something cool, is probably, yeah, maybe a Mark of the Wolves 2 trailer is what I assume. I have a hunch, like, you know what I mean? Don't quote me on this shit, but I have a hunch that, you know how, like, Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to get rolled back? There's a shot that they could still squeeze some juice into it, like new DLC and stuff like that, but once the rollback kicks in, that's just a prediction. I could be totally wrong and then they're done with the game, but I could see them doing that, or see them even selling like a complete edition of the game, like revealing that. That's just a hopeful prediction of some sort. And we like, something I love about EVO is when they bring out something old and classic. So like last time we got Marvel 3, I believe. This time we're getting Third Strike, and Third Strike is it's my favorite Street Fighter game. That shit's so fucking good, and I feel like it's such a worthy title of something classic, especially since that EVO moment is like still, I feel like, is the face of the FGC. So this is what I want to talk about. What that makes this lineup interesting is all these games are decently fresh. Like, everything came out kind of in a perfect package. Everything came out around a similar time. Like, we got we got KOF, then Street Fighter, then Guilty Gear, then Street Fighter, then, like, yeah, all of it is kind of still fresh and new, and there's still content in it. It's not like you're just grabbing an old game, trying to stretch out life in it. All these things have content coming and moving forward, which is very interesting. But it also shows what I like about this is it shows what we're missing in, like, the fighting game community at the moment. And what do I mean by that? So, the only thing, if I could add to this lineup, I think this lineup is honestly perfect, but there's two genres that I wish, you know, they had an opportunity to be in it, but it makes 100% like sense why they're not in it. What I'm talking about is like platform fighters, for example. Platform fighters, you know, we usually have like Smash Ultimate. We usually like have, you know, sometimes we have Melee at times. It's pretty old, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, it makes sense that we don't have a platform fighter in EVO, because honestly, the strongest platform fighter that was out there for the longest time, besides Melee, was Ultimate. And, you know, like, Nickelodeon, it really can't stand the test of time to Ultimate. Multiverses really dropped the bag. I even forgot that game existed. I just got, like, literally, like, a tweet the other day saying, like, teasing that it's gonna come back. But clearly it's not gonna be in EVO. And not just that, but moving forward for Multiverses, I really don't see it as like a big competitive thing, like what they were trying to initially do in the beginning. Like, it just seems like such like a one-off. Hopefully the game comes back in a good mindset, but it's clearly not going to be an EVO. It's not going to be a surprise guest at EVO. But who knows? Maybe there's a shot that we'll get information about Multiverses or new shit like revealed in EVO, but I doubt it. I really personally doubt that. But what we're missing is, yeah, platform fighters, but it makes sense. Complete cold turkey. We don't have a platform fighter right now. Another thing, though, is you could argue Mortal Kombat takes this mantle, but I feel like it's a classic thing that we always, like, I feel like this is such a great representation of like our fighting game climate, and what's missing is a game with assists, like Marvel vs. Capcom thing. You could argue Mortal Kombat 1 has an assist system, but an anime type fighter with assist hits totally different. So like an example is Dragon Ball FighterZ. It totally makes sense why Dragon Ball FighterZ is not in it. It hasn't got updated in a very hot minute. Android 21 was the last thing that it came out, and the announcement of rollback, but and there was a beta for the rollback like a month by this point, or 2 months ago, but we just still don't have it yet, and I could just see that, like, it just makes total sense to me that we're not getting anything and not just that too, but no, we don't have a Marvel vs. Capcom. I could have seen Skullgirls in it because they had DLC like a year ago, and they they're done with it now. But it's just like, yeah, I feel like a anime aesthetic Marvel vs. Capcom thing is missing. And this is the thing too, you could argue that we could have replaced Third Strike with a game that could fit that role, but we got Marvel last time, so it kind of makes sense. So in my personal opinion, I think this roster of games is kind of perfect. It's missing 2 things, but it totally makes sense why it's not there. And this is kind of exciting, but this might be my first Evo that I go to, just because from where my location is, it's drivable. It's not going to be a fun drive, but it's drivable, and I have steady income, so this might be my first Evo. And if I have to pick a game to get good in, it would either be Under Night or Grand Blue. I'm really enjoying Grand Blue right now, and I really highly recommend trying it out, especially since like there's a free version. And besides that, no, I'm hyped as fuck, because these are really good games. I want to say KOF is very sad, like slept on. Under Night is probably one of the funnest experiences I ever had in a fighting game, and I'm just so happy all these games are still coming up with updates and it's not dead. See, are you happy with this roster of games, and what would you change if you had the possibility to change it? I would really like to hear your opinion. That's all I have to say. Thank you and goodbye.